in last week, just sign from 8 of August until today. Right, just with your name, your mobile number, and all right, for those who are online right now, maybe we can start rolling. How many people in here? We have only one online. Yeah, that's good. In here, okay. But in case there are people who are coming online, at least I can hear them. Okay, okay, okay. We hope to finish chapter 1 today. Hold a sec, my love. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's let's move on. I hope there will be no issue in here. Share screen. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I hope that there will be no one, okay, who are attending online, so I can focus more of you guys. Um, there are few, I would say, topics. I hope we can finish the 6 topics this afternoon. We will be able to define what is human resource, what are the role and structure, models of the human resource that I have discussed before. It's a theory, different kinds of theory, how human resource management from personal administration turned to be a strategic human resource, how you're gonna do that, and how we are going to evaluate the human resource outcomes moving on, and contemporary issues of the human resource, what are, like, basically issues concerning human resource. This session we will be discussing about Islamic human resource. Now, as we move on to, like, teach every word that is in the book. Okay. If you're going to, when you're talking about human resource, basically it's like, as long as you're handling the people to be taking care of the A to Z functions and activities of the human resource, to make sure that all the people that are coming in are all equipped in a way of what they are called for, or what position you are offered them. There are a lot of arguments that, they have said that people are an organization's most important asset. Yes, that is correct, but provided that it should be taken care of. Okay, so commonly in any organization, we recognize human resource as one of the backbone of the whole structure of the organization. Why, in that sense, it's because it is all composed of human being. It's the people who are present in there, who are doing every job based on the job description that they're called, and we are aligning every functions that we do have in the mission, vision, and goal of the company, or the objectives of the company. Why it's very important that um, we need to align all our, like focus on the vision, mission, and goal of the company. It's because um, in order for us to be a strategic human resource, we need to be strategically fit, meaning to say you need to put people in that position that is perfectly fit to do the job. Otherwise, how can you attain, you know, the vision, mission, and goal of the organization if you are hiring people based on the wasta baby, you know, because of wasta baby. This is the friend of the friendest and the friendest. Okay, so it would be very difficult, so without even qualification, without even like in line of the task that she or he is going to perform. That's so hard. This is the like the brother of my friend of the friend. Oh my gosh, so we need to make sure that um, the first point of process when it comes to human resource, it should be hiring the right people. Otherwise, human resource and all of this, words in here in the first book of the, text is textbook is not really like applicable at all. Okay, as you all know that, how fast the pace of technology and even the social kind of thing, in the environment where moving on, maybe we humans, based on our competency and skills, will be expendable because of the AI kind of thing, like you go to the store, they don't need much of the sales lady. It's because you can just go straight to that particular machine, you punch all your things, kalas, and that will lessen the value of human factor in the organization. Now, how can you compete with that social kind of thing, technological change within the growing, like recognition of the social, the society, the four, or I would say like, what are the factors of the environment affecting business? Okay, it is very important or crucial that we need to manage our human resource. It's very imperative, vital in the organization that at the early stage of hiring process, you are there already to guide them in order for them to be efficient and effective. That is why in the first text of the book, how we are going to practice the human resource management in a way that uh, you aim to a higher level of human resource management. You are not settling yourselves to be just come to the office, take karak, chai, Turkish coffee, and then tick, 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 and then after that, check email, browse, browse. And then you will just that, can you do this? Can you do that? No. There should be a plan, human resource plan. Like, it's too shame on our part to be called in a position and we are getting so much, and at the end of the day our productivity level is zero. It should be, every employee should be proportionate as to the cross benefit ratio, meaning to say if somebody paid me for 5,000 Qatar riyal, I need to make sure that at the end of the month I am worth my 5,000. Correct? So you need to maximize that because every person in the organization are equitably, quantitatively measured, okay, based on whatever capacity that you are going to do. Okay, this has encouraged a longer term, more proactive, okay, and strategic approach, all those things to people management. And that is where we can say that, oh, come on, my office is really handling the correct human resource management. The book and the motion that we need to make sure of, we are not only settling human resource management, we need to be strategic. And that are the, the topics that we are going to discuss. The first chapter or section of the book, we will be defining what are the characteristics and aims of the human resource. Okay, fine. When I am in the human resource, you need to make sure that right now you know your value and you know the functions that you are be playing. Um, I need to make sure that I'll do anything and everything to make sure that my people that, or myself even, I can be efficiently and effectively performing my job, okay, as per the job description that I am called to, okay? The second section of the chapter, we will be discussing selection models. What are the selection models that we will be using in order to understand what are the practices, the scope of the human resource functions. Now, there are a lot of functions of the human resource that maybe you come to think of like, oh, this is not my job. Why you are giving it to me? This is not my job. You think like we are going back to the usual scenario or usual practices of the human resource, like you're only taking care of the payroll, or maybe like accepting papers for leaves and all the letters, okay, for the bank and all. No, not anymore, especially that human resource management system, HRMS, is present now. If you belong in a huge company, you have your SAP, you have your Oracle, you have your Microsoft Dynamics. So uh, it's easy to manipulate, okay, to operate, because it's just like a click away, okay? So the thing in there, if you need to be, like boasting your position, you need to make sure that the management can see the value in you by, like performing every day based on not everything what you know, but of course, you need to use your emotional intelligence by, making a difference based on the functions that you played on. Now, in the third section of the book, we will be discussing as well um, the selected models. Okay, there are models. We have the Harvard. There's a lot in there that maybe can be of great help as baseline. Okay, this is what they are talking about. Maybe we can take a look at that. And the final section of the chapter, we will discuss the concept of the strategic human resource management. Okay. Now, moving on, when we are going to define human resource management as what we have said, there you may be discussing or seeing, okay, a lot of activities related to the management of people. You need to manage people, of course, because they need to be guided accordingly in an organizational setup. Okay, there is nothing wrong with any other, like you are not taking care of the people who are, the stakeholders, the external forces of the organization, but of course the internal factors, which are your people. Now, when you talk about human resource, from the very first word that it has been said, it's a strategic approach. See, it's not like you will say it's an operational approach. No, it's a strategic approach. Why strategic? It's because you need to strategize, you need to formulate. When you talk about formulation, strategy meaning to say the hows, the whens, the whats. Okay, you will answer that. To managing employment relations. Why employment relations? Habibti, it's because it's people, it's human. We are composed of different skills, human resource. It composed of different characteristics, behavior, like norms, based on our diversity. Okay, when we are doing with people. Now, strategic approach to managing employment relations, which emphasizing leveraging of people. You need to leverage people, meaning to say you need to enhance people, you need to compete with people, you need to make them, I would say, competitive, okay, to their abilities, the key SA, knowledge, skills, and your abilities, which is very critical to achieving a competitive, sustainable competitive advantage. You can say like for a long-term or short-term competitive advantage, but it's called sustainable, meaning to say you have to be consistent. It's not that you are on the hill today or maybe this year and then after the next 2 years, no more. It should be consistent. Performance appraisal, it should happen every year. Okay, bonus and calculations of the salaries. Basically, maybe if you can increase salaries for every year, mashallah, if not every 2 years, there's always be consistency every year. Capability building, in building, so you can go on with that. This being achieved through the distinctive set of integrated employment policies. How you are going to capture all these factors that defines a human resource is through a distinctive set of integrated employment policies, which is the human resource policy and manual, whatever programs and practices of the organization. So meaning to say, human resource management is not only taking care of people as it is like, hi, hello, but you need plan based on, you need to set up your policy and manual. So the other day, no, this is not the class that somebody asking me, like it's human resource level 5. They're asking, Madam, how can I start a human resource department? Because right now we don't have human resource department. How can I start? So I was telling that in order for you to streamline every functions of the human resource, to take an effective, like management, within the human resource, you don't know where to go. It's very difficult to be in an organization that there is no workflow process, especially like it composed of only 10, yeah, 12 people. And then you just the management is just doing whenever they feel like it. It's so difficult. So the first thing that you're gonna do is to formulate a policies, integrated employment policies, programs, and practices. There are companies that really, most of the company doesn't have human resource policy and manual. Correct or wrong? Do you have in your office a corporate policy and manual? Madam, we don't have. We just have like, in our intranet, we just have like memorandum, and then whenever they feel like it this year, okay, please be reminded of these are the following that you need to follow, but there's no consistency. Only this year because of the general managers maybe way of thinking. What if after 2 years, that general manager left the company? So meaning to say your policy and manual is not consistent, correct? Now, our policies, programs, and practices should be based again on the Qatar labor law, in which the Qatar labor law is based on the, like, it's a baseline, like basis only. Like you can go beyond the policy that is stipulated in Qatar labor law, but you cannot go below that. Like 21 days, okay, 21 days, 28 days calculation. You can go with that. Like say if you are sick leave, for example, maternity leave, if the company will give you, say, for example, uh, 2 months, 60 days, huh? If the company will give you 60 days, but as per Qatar labor law, it's only 50 days, right? But if you want they are generous enough to give it away, why not? For men, right? Basically, as per Qatar labor law, there is no such paternal leave, okay? It's always a discretion of the company. So basically, they will give you 5 days. Okay? Like, say, for example, the wife delivers a baby. In Qatar labor law, father, it's not included in there. Okay? But if the company, based on your policy, if you want to make and create your own policy, you can say that, yes, the labor, yes, exactly. You cannot go below what is in the Qatar labor law, but you can go above, what are the policies. If the, say, for example, 50 days maternity leave. No, you cannot. Yes, you cannot. Yes, you can give more, but you cannot, you know, you cannot, yeah, correct. You cannot go below what is stipulated in Qatar labor law. Correct. Say, for example, during your first year of service, for example, you need to have, okay, sick leave can only be given, okay, when you serve 3 months, 60, yeah, 3 months consecutive, uh, duty, okay, in service. That is why if you are under probation period for 3 months, if you get sick, it to be absent, absence, like one day like that. But there are companies who are good enough, even if with the law stipulated that you are not allowed to take sick leave within your probation period, if the company is very generous enough, you can give. Okay, so that's the thing. Calculation of, say, case to case basis because of the discretionary power of the employer. uh, Sick leave 14 days, full paid. After 14 days still you are sick and you are not able to cover the, you can avail another extension of 4 weeks, that is 1 month, half pay. If the company will give you, no problem, you almost die, okay, continue until 4 weeks, the full pay we will pay you, something like that. Okay, so meaning to say, it's not that, if I am the company, like, no, you're not allowed. Here only full pay 2 weeks. If you will absent, kalas, no pay. No, you cannot, because as per Qatar labor law, you can extend your sick leave for another 4 weeks, half pay of your salary. Okay, but you can be more generous. Okay, now it's very important for you guys that right now you are well versed of the Qatar labor law. Okay, you know all the rules and regulations that has been put in there, because if the book, okay, the book is just your guideline, but the actual application of when you are in the four corners of that office now that you are working in Qatar as HR, everything is as per Qatar labor law. How you will calculate payroll, okay? Of course, you need to know Qatar labor law. Okay, whatever the time in, overtime, 50% to 1.25%, you need to know that. Okay, it's very important for you guys. It's not only that I graduated already, professional qualifications, human resource, and then Qatar labor law. During the interview, do you know any rules and regulations? Do you know Qatar labor law? It was not discussed in our subject. So you need to know that Qatar labor law. You can download that in Google, w.com, MOI, whatever is that. You can download that and you can read that. Okay, it's easy. Now, definition suggests the term human resource management, when you see that, is always associated with personal management. Of course, you are taking care of people. And the second is employment relationship. Remember when we define that? Personal management, it's because, you need to be proactive. There's system-wide, taking care of the people, linking with a strategic planning, and so with the cultural change, because you're all diverse, and orientation towards employment relationship. Why? It's because the moment that you hire someone, you are connected. Okay? You're taking care of that employee from A to Z, embracing distinctive people regardless of nationality, regardless of race, differences, okay? Centered values such as trust, commitment, involvement, and collaboration within the organization. The development of human resource, okay? The development of HRM concept, for example. The term human resource, it has been said here, is taken largely over the personal management. Way back, we come to think like, okay, fine, human resource is all about taking care of the people, personal management, where the roots tradition, when you talk about personal management, is like welfare tradition, the industrial relations tradition. This is the history of the human resource. Control of labor tradition and the professional tradition. There are four traditions that is linked or rooted from the word personal management. What it means. When you talk about welfare tradition, before, way back maybe 1960s, okay, they base on concern for improved working conditions for workers only, in which here in Qatar, we can example that, like, you're not allowed to work during summer until September 10 or 12, 15, maybe this year, from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Before 3:30, but now because it's so humid and so hot, it's until 4. When you talk about welfare tradition, it composes with the definition for how human resource concept has been developed. Way back 1960s, we are only taking care of the welfare as long as there's a time in and time out, there's a break. Okay, you are not allowing people to work outside without proper ventilation. If you are going to assign people to work in a port cabin, okay, in a site areas, you need to make sure that the AC is equivalent to the number of people that is inside. Okay. Now, here before FIFA, it's not really that good. The situation in the industrial area, in the labor camps, it's not really good. But when we won that FIFA, there is the international, regulatory board who came in here and checked our labor camps. So that is why there's a stipulated areas where in one room there is an AC and only two people are allowed to sleep in, based on how many square meters allowed for one employee. Before, it's like a matchbox, like one room, maybe 6, 7, 8 of you, okay, who will be living in there. But alhamdulillah, because of that, we need to, like, make sure that we are capable. We are, like taking care of the people in here in a way that it will pass with the regulatory board. The second one, we have the so-called industrial relations. arose in response to the growing power of trade unions through 1960s and 1970s. When you talk about industrial relations, we really need people who do before, trading. There's no money. Like you pay me with this particular, like say, cow. How many silver coins you're going to use with that? So it's more of, like the context of human resource base as well of the industrial relations, that you need people as well for the trading, okay? um and the trade unions, where like there are groups of people who will fight for you in case like there will be say your salary, there's no equal employment opportunity, or maybe you are underpaid. Okay, those are during industrial relations. We have the control of labor tradition of personal management. This happened before in response to increasing pace of organizational growth and change. Maybe this was 1980s, early early 1980s to 1990s. Okay, control of labor relations. These are the brief history, okay, of how the human resource developed. There are now, if you can remember 1970s and 1980s, there is no subject or degree. That's it. Those are the times that, like maybe the control of labor tradition happened in the, international setting, okay, where uh, the organizational growth is, moving up, like people became civilized. Okay, oh, they knew now that, okay, this is the way how people are managed. Way back 1960s, 1970s, if you are a millionaire, you don't need any accountant or office manager. You are manning your own business. You are the general manager, you are the treasurer, you are the accountant, everything. But through the, development of human resource, it came to the point that the personal management became recognized. I told you before, way back 1960s, maybe your grandma's, father, there is no professional courses for Bachelor of Science in Human Resource Management. No, it's only commerce. Okay, that is why maybe your papa, mama, what your commerce? My course is only commerce. Commerce, you can, if you graduated in commerce before, you can work in the bank, you can, any business operations. But now there is a specialized form, functions, professional discipline that focuses on Bachelor of Science in Human Resource Administration. So that is how it was disciplined, broadly applicable to all fields of employment. Now, term human resource management in 1980s, it was gained recognition in the United States because of the IBM, Xerox, and Hewlett Packard, like more of the, like IT kind of thing. Okay. What are the characteristics of the human resource? Why we need to, according to Armstrong, okay, how, why we need to see and know, learn maybe the concepts, the characteristics of the human resource, because you will easily determine if you are properly functioning in your office if you know that, okay, human resource should be like this because it's one of the character of the human resource. It says here, the first one is to attempt to achieve strategic fit in a way that you need to integrate the human resource and your plan, okay, business plan, based on the vision, mission, and goal of the company, right? We started to discuss that. Meaning to say, if I am a human resource practitioner, I need to align all my policies, programs, practices based on how we as company achieve that vision, mission, and goal of the company. I need to be strategic fit. Um, the human resource policy should be formulated at strategic level and directly related to the organization's competitive and value-adding objective, and this may be called vertical integration. Why it's vertical integration? It's because when it comes to policy, okay, vertical is just like that. When it comes to policy, there are so-called like top down, down top. Okay, so up down management. Meaning to say like there are cases where when you are implementing policies, programs, and whatever, like practices protocols, programs of the human resource, you need to see to it that the people are in agreement to that. Okay? You cannot just say like autocratic kind of managing the whole office, like whatever the human resources manager feels like to implement, or the CEO. Okay, say for example, if the CEO will say like, okay, all of you, all of the people who will be hired, I don't need fresher. I want 5 years of experience. So this company will not be a training ground. So when you come in there, it's a battle of the brains, because it's 5 years up. It's a very high caliber kind of, like company, just like maybe Qatar Energy, you need to have a 5 year experience moving up, now it was changed because of Pulu's Mafi budget, So what they're doing is they offshore, or maybe like hiring from the manpower services as long as you have 2 3 years experience. They are not directly dealing with the Qatar Energy. They are manpower source. So, but if you are really under that company, the huge QQ company, government companies, you are rich. Meaning to say your experience is like, wow. You will say like, if you hear that's organizational culture, you know, when you hear someone like very credible, I would say like Qatar Foundation. Where are you working? Qatar Foundation. What you come to think of your mind? If you see someone working in Qatar Foundation, then you will say, "Oh my God, how she came to work in there? My God, maybe her experience is like this. Maybe you come to think of like expertise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because Qatar Foundation. Okay. Oh my God, there's a lot of, whites there, European, American, how she came to, no, maybe she's, too much wasta baby or whatever. But if you come to realize that, you will come to know directly that, oh my God, she is someone, she's somebody, really. Okay. Now, that's strategic fit, vertical integration, because you need to make sure that all the policies and manual are, draft from bottom line and raised to the top management. The development of coherent, mutually supporting HR policies and practices. There is a strategic fit and, of course, formulation of the human resource policies and practices in which the strategic management of people will be reflected in all areas and systems of the human resource management. Okay. This is what you call horizontal integration when it comes to policies and manual. Because why horizontal integration, madam? Because when you set your policy, whether you are a CEO, general manager, you need to abide the same law. No one is above the law, correct? It's not that, okay, the human resource manager are the ones who facilitate and implemented this policy. They are excused. You cannot say that. It should be integral, horizontal integration. Everybody will follow the rules. Okay. Now, we have as well orientation towards commitment, meaning to say when you are joining one organization, you are there to secure employee identification where your employee voice and all, you need to take pride of who you are. You need to take pride of the organizational goals, values, and you are following not only and belonging in that kind of organization, not only as mere compliance, okay, with the directives, but of course you need to take an active part of, playing um, the role of being member of like Uridu, okay, Vodafone, okay, you are in the management. This is often associated with the management practices such as your flexibility, your team building, empowerment, involvement, and creation of strong cultural values. Like, say, for example, if you're working in Adidas and then you are a store manager, Adidas, and then you are wearing a shirt for Nike Air. So it doesn't make sense, right? So you need to make sure that when you talk about commitment, when you're working in a company, you need to be devoted as to, exactly, whatever the mandates you need to follow, say for example, it's part of those characteristics that we need to take good care as well. Like if there are like policies that, like say working hours, you need to follow as per working hours. Okay. It's not that I will not follow because my father is the general manager. Now, characteristics of the human resource, another features that we can sum up based on the way how Armstrong is stating, okay? The treatment of people as assets, mashallah. I hope every company are treating people as an asset, okay? Regarding employees as a source of competitive advantage and as a human resource capital to be invested through provision of learning and development. Provision. If I am treating people as an asset, I need to improve people. It's not that like after 3 months, kaliwali, you find out whatever your work will be, you figure it out. When I come here before, nobody is teaching me. Now figure it out yourself. Di ba? So it's not really that good, you know? We are here to provide learning and development opportunities and often associated with a strong emphasis, okay, on the delivery of quality and customer satisfaction, rewarding performance, competence, contribution, and added value. You know, how can you be, uh, an added value, added advantage, okay, to the company, especially your skills, okay? Then, if I knew that the company that I'm working with right now is treating human uh, resource or human as we people as an asset, then I should supposed to recognize that maybe now I've been already in the company for 15 years. It's supposed to have a lot of trainings, they send me to here and there. But wallahi, for 15 years, I don't have even training. And, actually, nobody send me to for training for a five-star hotel and, sit down there and experience. La, nothing. So now, currently, if you belong in a company where you don't even have performance appraisal, you don't even send to training, then mushkila habibi. Like they are deviating what's the characteristics of the human resource. It's just like our work is routinary, come to the work and then check there whoever requested for a leave. And so you are doing that. But see, if you're a like millennial and Gen Z, okay? Gen Z, okay? Mm. Gen Z power, if you graduated, yeah, very young individuals, 19, 20, okay? If you graduated the teaching of the professor way back, when you were in Sri Lanka, okay? It's the latest, development of what is in the world right now. How about us who graduated in 1990, for example? Your teaching is different compared to right now. If I am not going to be trained, okay, then I will be left behind. You understand? Like someone who is in the company for 10 years, human resource generalist. Okay. All I knew is maybe human resource system in the Excel, or maybe uh, I would say Oracle version 1.1. Okay. My Microsoft Outlook knowledge is only Microsoft Outlook 2010. Habibi, there's 2024, 2025 Microsoft Outlook. What happened to this Outlook? It looks different. All these are like that, right? So we need to keep enhancing ourselves. Another one is a unitarist approach to employee relations, meaning to say we need to make sure that we are working hand in hand in one mind, okay? That there is a need to be no inherent conflict of interest between employers and employees. I will come to that office because my father, for example, we will make a drama. My father was terminated in the company. After 4 years, I will be graduating in this. I will work in this company. I will work as finance manager. And then when I work there, because you suffer so much. For example, drama story. Yeah. When you are hired as human resource, sorry, when you are hired as a finance manager, you will make that company, bankrupt. Okay? Something like that. So we need to make sure that there is no example, that is extreme example, drama. Yani. You know, that one should be, I would say, like, there should be a no personal interest. Okay? It's like your husband needs to be promoted in the other company, and then you are working in a competitor. Okay? I will get all the pricing. yeah, I will give it to my husband, so my husband will offer a very lesser price. See, like that. But it should not be that case. Okay, we are taking care of the company that we belong. You know, our commitment. Remember the commitment. The responsibility of line management for delivery of human resource objectives. It's part of the characteristics of the human resource. What are the goals? Now, if we are working towards the vision, mission, and goal of the company, about human resource, what do you think are the goals of the human resource? It says here, strategic integration. If we are into strategically fit as one of the character of human resource, then we'll go with the ability of all the organizations as well to integrate, meaning to say to make sure that we're working hand in hand when the human resource issues. What are the human resource issues? Into a strategic plans to ensure that various aspects of the human resource cohere for line managers. Habibi, line managers should know what they're doing. It's not only like their boss, the boss, the leaders. Boss is totally different with the leaders. We are molding people to be leaders. Okay, they're managers, but move them to be leaders by strategic integration of the implementation of the human policies, where they are not only knowing the way, but they have to show the way. Okay, that is what leaders should be to ensure that various aspects of perspective into their decision making, this can be depicted. Okay, with the figure 1.1. Okay, now figure 1.1. Another goal of the human resource, we have high commitment. Okay, it's the same way. Before, it was the characteristics defined by Armstrong. Now this is for guests. The meaning is still the same, but they are changing the headline. Okay, for Armstrong, he said like strategic fit, but for guests, he's telling strategic integration. Understand? High commitment and flexibility. High commitment, it could be, say, for example, letter C for Armstrong, it's commitment. For guest, he's telling as well high commitment and flexibility, and the other, these are models. The other author says flexibility. Okay, so those are the goals of the human resource as per Guest of 1989, that he was able to define the 4 key policy goals of human resource. We need to be strategic integration, high commitment and flexibility, and so with the high quality. That is for guests. The notion of quality must run through everything the organization does. Okay. Now, figure 1.1 that has been discussed by Armstrong, no, sorry, by Guest. It says here, see, easy to understand based on the illustration in here. It says that if we are going to have a strategic integration with the human resource functions as well, whatever functionally, like and product market strategic, including human resource and personal, we need to make sure that we are basing all our policies, our focus on the strategy, culture, and the line management are the people who will be, tasked to do that, and the employee, which is under, rank and file, are governed by, like policies, functions, and activities. Those are that figure is explaining the human resource goal explained by guests. Now, human resource and personal management. Now, what's what's the difference and what makes it, like functional? Concept, the main conceptual difference between human resource and personal management, it's arguably focused on strategic integration. When you talk about personal management, there's no really strategic fit, high commitment, it's a basic personal administration kind. Okay. In personal management, it was criticized way back for being just reactive and defensive approach to people management, in which during those times, human resource are evil forces, evil department. I hate this department, I requested something, they don't bother, how many times you will make a follow-up before they will mind, you know. But if you know somebody in human resource department, yeah, it will be processed right away. Leave leave calculation, leave pay. If the manager will be taking a vacation, as per company policy, a week before, you will get your uh, leave pay. Okay? 1 week before, because you will buy chocolate, no? Chocolate and all. If the managers or any wasta-wasta baby who will be taking leave, okay, 2 weeks or even a month before, if the leave will take place like August 28, 27, leave pay will come during first week of the month. See, imagine? Okay. Because you are just a rank and file, policies are always, there's always an exception to the rule when it comes policy. And believe it or not, it's always present in any, the bureaucracy of the organization. There's always like that. But if you will be, inshallah, manager, human resource manager, you need to strictly follow the rule. I don't care because what? Horizontal integration. Where's the horizontal integration? This is policy of the company, whether you are CEO, manager, policy is policy. You will receive your leave pay. No, manager. Going for vacation 17th of August, 17th of July. He filed his leave 15th of July. On 16, he was telling me, Mary, when they're going to give me my leave pay? Then I look at him like this. Boss, you just filed your leave pay yesterday, huh? And the effectivity of your leave will be 17. Leave should be filed 1 month before. But the boss is busy and he is the boss. He filed the leave 15, putting in the system. The next day he said, when they're going to calculate my leave. Shuhada. See? Sometimes, it happens like that. Depends on how you answer that. Okay? Personal management was criticized for being reactive defensive. Human resource introduced many new management concepts such as equal opportunity. Okay, it's one of the mandate of the human resource where, okay, when you're hiring equal employment in United States, it's very crucial, and Europe, because even special, special people, there's a special, what is this? What do you call that one? The term, there's special child, or like autism, okay? This kind of people, you cannot, yeah, autism, like it's not really that normal, but they can think well, you can ask them, okay? In United States, it's part of the equal employment opportunity. The thing that is the word there that you are not allowed to question in Europe and America is the disability of one person. Because once the moment that you will ask the scholars, the next day you will be in court, you know. In United States and Europe, the most powerful there are employees. That is why the arbitrary lawyers are so rich in those parts of the world. But here, alhamdulillah, if the boss is al like that, oh my God. And then you go to labor department, and then, for example, your boss is al so lively, yeah? Yeah. Think twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count 1 to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I going to labor department or what? Okay, because it's really difficult here. As long as you are guided and you are, even if you are in the right track, that is why always do good with your employer. If there is nothing that is not good, okay, inhale, exhale, finish the contract until 2 years. Only anymore. And go back to Philippines. You will just do like that. Otherwise, if you fight a good fight of faith, voila, it will take time. Well, anyway, the labor department will fight for you, especially if you are in the right track, like no salary for 3 months, for example. They will fight for you, but yeah, of course. But you need to suffer for 3 months, 5 months. Then if you are Mafi, Shukul, Yani, Mafi, Pulus, okay, for 3 months and you're alone there, no family. Uh, so that is why always deliver the best exit, When you finish your contract, even if you tender your resignation, sometimes people will show off, when they sign their resignation. Finally, I have 2 months notice period after this class, too bad. During those 2 months, you need to act the best actors in the world. Be good, be kind, come every morning, go out, and you don't issues that because harana. Eh, until you finally step out. Because why? Don't also act like palas after the next day, last day of work, okay? And then the next day, you will show your true colors. Make sure that your visa is finally transferred. Transferred to another sponsor. Yes. Okay? Don't act like as if like good. Why? Okay. That's the thing. Okay. Now, what are the operational tasks of the human resource? Okay, these are the role and structure of the human resource. Please bear in mind that chapter 1 is the basic foundation of the context of human resource. After you finish chapter 1, kalas as if like you go through the whole book. Finish. Okay? Because chapter 1 to 3, after you finish chapter 1 to 3, we are going to focus our discussions to the operational tasks of human resource. We're go majoring, okay? Organization, that will be on chapter 2, right? Now, organizational design, these are the terminology that you will be learning in chapter 2. Organizational design, where the structuring the organization by grouping activities, assigning accountabilities, establishing communication and authority relationship, where you can see your organizational structure, line transfer, line management, this person, how you will read an organizational structure where the line where it goes to whom you are reporting to. Okay, those are organizational design. How you design your office. Who will be the top executive? Are you going to call it general manager or managing director? Okay, CEO, COO, vice president, president. Okay, that is up to you. Organizational development, the planning and implementing interventions of the organization's social process to improve effectiveness through techniques such as structural change, in building, process consultancy, interpersonal skills development, and role negotiations. Those are the topics for organizational development. Now, OD, it's one of the functions as well of the company. Like usually organizational development is under, uh, say, training, learning, and development. Okay? How the organizations will be developed based on these are the things that included in the organizational development. Now, job role design in that uh, section, you will define what is job role, what is job design. You are going to define all that, structuring the content and size of the job. Say, for example, accounts department, how many accountant we have? Two. We need to hire. Is it okay if two, junior, senior, bus, and the senior or the junior will handle the accounts receivable, the senior will be payables, so you need to work on that, defining the competent component task, conditions, the competency requirement for the recruitment. Okay, when you talk about job role, job design, okay, those are the uh, inclusions. Appraisal, reward number, it's more of quantitative. Flexible working, planning, implementing is part of the organization, of course. Um, Procedures to maximize efficiency and adaptability of the organization. Those are the topics that you are going that we are going to discuss on chapter 2. And one of the tasks and activities of the human resource is this one: organize. You need to organize people based on their competency. You have your performance appraisal, training, employee relations, to how to deal with them. Okay, linking with people. Now, people resourcing, yes. So that comes it is also to also build the procedures for all departments. Yes, should be. Depends on the uh, structure of the organization. There are organizations that are so bureaucratic where every department head are given the full discretion. Like, okay, you manage your own department, you create the job description like this, but generally, it's ruled down from human resource. Depends. Just like my company. My company, the human resource director, okay, has audit, from the head office, not from local. We have the head office. Now, when it comes to job design, job function, the job design always come, or yeah, the job design always comes from the head office. It will go straight to Tata. However, okay, if that is under, say, for example, rental department, okay, the rental department, the human resource here in Qatar, supervisor, will tell the rental department, Mudir, can you please send me your job description for this particular? So the one who will conceptualize the job description of particular person who will be hired to be assigned in the rental department is the rental manager. Okay? But in in theory, every organization, every how you will organize, it should be handled by human resource because it's one of our operational tasks. It's our task. And one of our activities, if you are going to dissect the role and structure of the human resource. Yes. Yes, yes, correct. Because you cannot, like design anything and everything without, like common, agreement with other departments. But again, that will depend. That is why, say, for example, given the task that you are new in that company and no human resource, okay, no human resource. So basically, if no human resource, you are going to step to implement such this topic, all of that should be generated from the human resource department because there's no human resource department. What you're going to do is to present. Okay, you present to the management. These are the things that I am doing. I am conceptualizing the job design, the job description of each and every function or role or position in the company. Is this okay? Now that's fine. So you basically it was initiated by human resource department. But you want to because the department manager knows better. Okay, they knew better than us. Okay, is this job description, this job design is really like applicable in your department? Maybe you can add on, or you can, like put more illustrations or maybe the description in a particular job. Then, so it will be a collaboration of the managers and all of that. But it's basically it's initiated by human resource. Okay. Now, people resourcing speaks about employee recruitment and selection. Okay, human resource planning, forecasting, recruitment, attracting employee. Okay, every word here has already a definition. Okay, so we are this page. Okay, and the next page we are going to tackle one by one of that. Selection, retention, and exit management. That is under people resourcing. Okay, from the hiring to the induction to exit. Okay, you will handle that. That is under people resourcing. One of the tasks and activities of the human resource. Performance management, once you hire, after hired, confirmation of employment, after confirmation of employment, 6 months, go straight for performance management. Okay. What are the performance management objective and competence requirement setting? You need to make sure that you develop a certain framework in the organizational. It's not easy, Like I will just make you have your performance appraisal, what are the inclusion? Performance appraisal, it should be applicable to every role. Your performance appraisal of an accountant should not be the same with the salespeople unless it's behavioral. You understand? But when you talk about qualitative performance appraisal, it's applicable to all positions. But when it comes to quantitative, of course, the capacity, the competency of an accountant compared to people who are in the sales is too different, you know? So that is why I remember the first performance appraisal my boss told me, Mary, I will only rate you three, huh? Third, three only is one to five. Five is the highest. I will only rate you three, okay, for this system because you are not using this. Why it was under my uh, deliverables when I am not an accountant or I'm not in sales. So this system, this IT kind of thing, because there's an IT part, okay, like how fast, like the Microsoft tools, okay, Microsoft tools, let's say poor, average, excellent, excellent, or something like that, outstanding, very satisfactory. And then I was being told like, I will just put three ha because you are not using this tool. Exactly. So I said, sir, this should not be my deliverable in my performance appraisal because this should be applicable to, uh, accountants and sales people because they're the ones who are using this one. Sales from, I should not, that line I should supposed to be exempted. You don't have to write that for me. Yeah. So that is one of the things as well that you need to take good care of. And when it comes to performance appraisal, it's not that performance appraisal are the same to everyone. And it's behavioral. Behavioral in a way like how you understand how competent you are to do the job. How like the ratio of your mistakes in a day. Okay, that's fine. It's applicable to everyone. Performance monitoring and appraisal, discipline handling, okay? That is self-explanatory. That every word that is included in that are defined. Grievance handling, that is part of the performance management, that is under human resource, and identifying learning and development needs. Okay? Those are under performance management context. Now, talking about reward management, after the performance management, of course, there's a reward because those people who need training out of the result of the performance appraisal will be sent for training. But those who are actively performing their job are rewarded. Okay? In some context, there is a wrong notions, when you talk about performance management because I say, okay, just do it my performance management, rate it very well, okay? Because bonus. A part of that, yes, it's true. But the main purpose of performance appraisal is not really for fulus, Habib. It's identifying what are the learning needs that required for you to be, more better, to enhance your uh, professional qualification. And then after that, you have your reward management, the pay system, performance pay system, the benefit schemes, and the non-financial rewards. Non-financial rewards, maybe if the management are so happy with your performance, then non-monetary. You will go to Dubai for 3 days, a weekend. The company will pay for you. It's vacation spree, okay? Personal development, or maybe whatever non-monetary, non-financial rewards. There are students even that are sent to study, okay? Who paid for you? Madam, the company sent us because we don't have background in HR and we're handling HR. So we are sent to by the company and they are paying for us. There's a lot in here, you know. There are like Edge Gym, it's owned by a Qatari and they don't have a human resource. So the Qatari Mudira, okay, sent the two ladies to study human resource in order for her not to hire, okay, another person. So uh, this is this training, what do you call that one, uh, like the coach for trainer coach, okay, has a dual purpose now, an HR and a coach at the same time to maximize assets within the organization. No need to hire another HR because maybe that sponsor really trusted those ladies. Learning and development, it's part of the operational task of the human resource. Learning organization, creating a culture and system to support individual, education and training. What's the difference between education and training and learning organization? Like the planning, implementation, and evaluating on and off the job, learning opportunities and programs. So when you talk about education and training, we will be defining something that you don't know of, okay? And then you will be sent there, that's education. Something that you know already, like it's built in already, you have this knowledge, It's just like you need to be more good about it to enhance or to be better. That is what you call learning. And you will be learning that during our learning and development chapter 4. Okay. Personal development, when you are going to evaluate and facilitate individual learning plans, part of the human resource planning as well, where after the performance appraisal, okay, you are receptionist, okay, I think you need to do better with your communication skills, okay, how to handle telephone calls and customer service. I will send you, okay, for a training. Those areas is under learning and development. Health, safety, and welfare, occupational health and safety. You need to identify what are the requirements. It comes to the board and lodging, the food. There are companies here that providing board and lodging, okay, especially construction company, caterer, even. Okay, so those are the things. What are hazard and all. Uh, Now in Qatar, they are becoming so strict when it comes to safety and security. Because, say, for example, every renewal of your building permit and CR, company registration, part of the scope of the approval is your safety. Okay? Safety, health safety. So, including the exit, if the building doesn't have exit, okay? It's part of everything now because, especially like in the industrial area where fire is usually happening, um, the way how you handle your waste, your oil, grease, like that. Oh my God, even the car park, there should be a proper, like signage of in and out, there should be a, like mirror to know who is somebody is coming. Oh my God. Yeah, before, nothing like that. But this one now is part of the uh, ministry's regulatory regulations, when it comes to uh, building permit and so on. Now, welfare services, part of the health and safety welfare, where you are providing services such as catering, recreational, okay, fine. I remember before Qatari Diyar, a friend of mine worked in Qatari Diyar, mashallah. They do have this, like physical fitness allowance. Mm, paid them 3,000 Qatari Riyal for a year. Okay? You can go to any Qatari Diyar. Okay? You can go to uh, uh, any gym. Okay, so of course, fitness first. You can enroll there. Okay, because the budget is 3,000 Qatari for a year. Sana all. How I wish I have also 3,000 Qatari to go to gym, any kind of gym. Okay, because of personal health, wow, wellness and fitness. Ah, there are cases like that. It's part of the health welfare services. Okay. There are companies even like Qatar Energy, like you government, ministry. If you will be working in that kind of company, there is a caterer in the building. I remember I was working in a corporate travel management company, and I was the client relationship. Okay. Uh, Manager who's handling all the government. I can speak Arabic, but wallah, like they're assigning me to the ministry, right? I don't know. But good thing that the ministry heads there in travel and HR can really well speak, English, like British, Qatari, but like British, the way how they will communicate in English. My God, if you remember, this is long time ago. Like few Hope 18, okay, Qatar National Food Security Program. Okay, so you go to that ministry. The next one is Ministry of Agriculture. Okay, you go there. I love to be going there every month. Why? When you go there, man, masharib property, something like that, okay? Man, let's have a lunch. So the schedule will be always 11:30 to 12:30. They will bring you to that diplomatic. There's a diplomatic catering, no? Oh, the which floor they will go there. We will go. Harib, name it, you have it. from the salad, from the juice, from the sweet. And then I said, you are breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you want to come before you leave, like 3 o'clock, finish your call, okay? If you want to come 3 o'clock and eat more to have your dinner, you can. I said, well, no. Yeah, I said like, oh, you're lucky. Okay? Very lucky. My God. Then you will feel like, and then you belong from where? Trading, consulting company only. Oh my God. Oh, I wish, I'll be working in this kind of company. Every local, like ministry, they have their own cafeteria, babe. Yes. You know, I was Qatar Energy or Qatar Petroleum before is one of my like clients told you like belong to me. Okay. I need to visit them 3 times in a year because they're in Nisaini. When I visit there in Qatar Petroleum, well, each staff has a stub. You know the stub, food stub, 7 real only. Okay, 7 real. Uh, the caterer, it's like, you go to a restaurant or a hotel that has a, what is this, like buffet style. See, imagine that is part of the non-financial rewards of the employees that know so you sponsor, you can work in this company. If you're mother sponsor, father sponsor, full sponsor, family sponsor. But if you're not family sponsor, it's like very difficult to work in there because what they want is only more of the family sponsor, you know, those kind of companies that are, like possibility. Usually, if you are a husband sponsor, family sponsor, voila, your opportunity to be working that kind of company is 50%. Now work out with another 50%. But I'm telling you 50%. Employer relations, the industrial relations, employee communication, employee voice, okay? It's part of the employee relation. How you bring like how the policy, procedures, practices will be brought to the employee based on that. Employee communications, how you do that, memorandum circular, but in a huge company, there's so-called intranet, okay? There's only an email, click the link, the new policy and now one, blah, blah, there's a new memorandum based on the Qatar National Day, click only. But for us, in the Mount Hibok area, we need to print, okay, memorandum signed by the manager, then pass it on, put in the bulletin board, okay, put it there. But big company, they do have their own intranet. Just click, see, HR services. HR services, we have the policies and procedures, your information system, the HRIS, okay, and the compliance, ensuring that all the policies set forth by the organization are, available in compliance with the relevant law, regulations, code of practices. So those are under HR services. Now, what are the processes of human resource? Processes of human resource, we have HR practitioners as well. We will consider various processes involving, say, workflow, for example, how you will file leave, okay? So HR processes in sequence of activities, there are functions or even organizational boundaries that include how you will achieve the goals of the human resource, how you will deliver the services that set forth by the management, and how you can add value. Those are the human resource practices. How there's a lot of ways how to kill the chicken. Use the knife. You do like that. Oh, there's a lot. It's the same way how human resource processes. There's a lot. It depends on how the management decided that. Okay. Now Armstrong of 2009, he identifies the following broad set of processes underpinning human resource approaches. So you can copy that if you wanted to. Like strategic human resource, that you need to. There's always an like intention, plans, and the development of the human resource, just to make sure that those human resource strategies are integrated with the business. Okay. When you talk about strategic human resource, make sure that you are working hand in hand, aligned vision, mission, and goal with the human resource practices and policies. Policy making, competency, job, and role analysis, it's part of the process. Say competency and job analysis. Okay. If you are if you are working, depends on the kind of industry. Okay. Your competency, job, and role analysis depends on the kind of industry that you belong. There are, of course, basically, like if you are working in an airline, your admin assistant has different role and job compared to a construction. Okay? Because it has a different industry. If you are an admin assistant that is working in the medical field, you know, even if you're admin assistant, the way you work in that particular office is totally different than maybe like trading and contracting company, because more of you are like a medical coder. Okay. Now, change management, advising and facilitating the process and change, and knowledge management, where you develop how you will obtain knowledge, how you will share it, and foster organizational learning and innovation and performance. So, knowledge management in an organization. Um, Sometimes you don't need to hire people who will be training you, but if you're hiring a highly competent individual with a soft touch of training, you can maximize them to educate or implement learning in the organization in order for them to, like gain more knowledge when it comes to human resource. That could be done. Okay, it's one that's so good. You can minimize cost. What are the role of the human resource management? Guidance, advisory, service, control. Okay. Guidance in a way that, or like a guidance counselor as well, to your staff. Putting yourself in the shoe of a human resource manager, you can advise, okay? Offering specialist recommendations, okay? Guide the line decisions that could be done, okay? How, whatever issues that may come up, come out, you are there to guide the staff, okay? Of course, how you will implement that, okay? You are the boss. Advisory role, offering specialist information, perspective to line managers, individual employees on employment matters. You can advise. Say, for example, someone would like to leave the company, and you can advise. Say, the company that you're moving out is not really in good state. Maybe you do not know. But if you will be staying here, maybe we can do more. You can do more and moving on. Yeah. So you are there to be open, at least, because uh once you're an HR, you are protecting the welfare of the staff as well. I remember before I was working in a uh like it's like a real estate kind where they are developing hotels here, but originally from Switzerland. It's a Swiss Atex International Hotel. For 6 months, I find it boring because an office manager position, we're only working like three of us. Salary, no problem. On time and all. But you are in the villa as if like I will feel stagnant. Office manager handling the secretary. You will be directly reporting to the regional director and the CEO. That's it. Remotely, not in the office. So the villa is so huge like that. We have one accountant, one office manager, and the driver only. If you want during working hours, you can swim in the swimming pool at the back of the villa. Okay. So for 6 months, I don't feel like it. Like if I want to sleep, I can sleep really in one of the rooms there upstairs. Okay. And the project manager comes sometimes whenever there is a signature. So I applied outside. I'm talking about, how you will advise. Okay. Advising role. So within the next 6 months, I'm happy, provided everything, transport, accommodation, everything. Okay. What you will be getting is the sum of your salary. So I was applying because I feel like I will become dumb, in that office, no client, nothing at all. As if like I am the mayordoma, mayordoma, the head of all the kadama in that villa. I feel like that, because nobody is there, only three people. So I was hired as during those times, there are two positions that I was called for with the offer letter together. Executive Secretary of Ghanim bin Saad Al Saad. Oh, GSIS, big company uh, from the Ghanim bin Al Saad, okay, GSSG, okay, as Executive Secretary to the Regional Director, okay. Another offer that was during those times, it was already stable. GSSG, so prominent company already. 2000, 2008, okay. Another offer is human resource manager to a very small transportation company owned by Ekateri and Abarini. Okay? Very like, uh, it's very important as well to know the background of the company that you are, regardless of their position. In my heart, of course, if you are new in Doha, you will go to the position, higher position. Salary is very good. They will give you Land Cruiser. Okay? Uh, the Qatari, I spoke to the Qatari Al-Ansari, okay? Mudir, I will give you Land Cruiser for your car, and the salary is like this. Okay? I go for HR manager. I never go for the structured, well-structured corporation who's big. And the salary will differ only 3,000. Okay, that's the salary bracket. Because I was thinking that if I'll be in the human resource manager, Gabriela Silang, I will help a lot of Filipino to get a job. That's my heart, in my heart. I want to help a lot of people who's looking for a job, especially Filipino, okay, to be a driver and all of that. I never took that position because of my own interest, but my mindset is to help people, especially Filipino, to work in the company because they are into transportation company for 16-wheeler, taking sand and gravel from Qatar to Saudi and Bahrain, like that. Okay, so there's a lot of drivers that I can help to. My God, the managing director is he himself, the owner, Qatari. The general manager is a black American. Ah. So when you come there, oh my God, American. Okay, my God, this is very good company, American. So I was thinking like, can afford, can afford. But I never knew that they are only starting. When you are any company that are starting in the market, you don't know you will know after 3 years the stability and okay, my God, I made the wrong decision. I left my office manager job that actually no job at all. I will just wait until end of the month and get my good salary. Maybe the difference only is like the difference only if I took the gun bin Saad Al Saad, there's only like 2,000 difference. Okay. Accordingly, do not leave your company if it's not 30% increase, okay, of your salary. You have to think like not right now, if you earn 15,000, you will not go for 17 or maybe 16. You need 30% of that increase, okay? So I said it's reasonable. Okay, 2000 before 2008, it's so big, okay? There, Mr. Robert, goodbye forever, because he's an Italian Swiss, okay? Italian Swiss, but British passport, okay? Sir, so here I want to go because I'm sad here, I'm alone. So I go. I decided to be human resource. I am supposed when I really need to move, I am supposed to choose the company that has what a good standing guy inside as well. I supposed to work with them, not the human resource manager. Wallahi, Habib, after 3 months, mafi salary. Salary is 15,000. Way back 2008. Salary, human resource manager, 15,000. Three Land Cruiser. But I never used a Land Cruiser because I still need to take driving license. Okay? So very nice, approach. No, that is why he's offering Land Cruiser because he knows that I don't have driving license. Okay? My God, Lord God Almighty. 3 months, no salary. So I was like, what the hell? What happened? Where's my salary? You need anything? If you need something, just go to the house, get 2,000, 1,000 to pay for rent like this. And rent before is only 1,000 because one small, partition you will need. My God, to be asked one wrong decision can ruin your whole career because you cannot find time. I left with 3 months, no salary. Then it took me so long to find another job. Okay. And those opportunities, if you can only those times I wish like I have one Jimmy, please turn back time, okay? I will make another decision. It will ruin your life. But this bank keep calling you because your credit card was not paid for 3 months already. And one wrong false move, kalas, because of your decision. And I suggest if you are into human resource, this Harami also there, owns the finance. He was already here for 15 years. He was not even, finance and admin. Was not even as, telling like, no, Mary, stay here, because like this. No, just "Please, let it go. Because if I leave, nobody will watch him. Ah, he's alone there. Okay? Service role. Okay. One of the roles of the human resource managers, okay, provide service and range of internal customer service, include administrative services, payroll, employee records. That's all about service. Control and auditing as well, analyze personal analysis, wage, labor. Like say, how many years you are in the company? Oh, madam, I'm already 3 years. You go back to the record, wala, miskin, only 200 reals increase for 3 years. It's not healthy, right? So you are in there as human resource to traditionally cause conflict. For example, um, if there are any conflicts between the line managers, you are there to be like acting like a CID, okay? To make sure that everything is in discretion and in balance with the policies and manuals in order for you to have a consistent application, the implementation of the human resource policy, right? Now, what are the role of human resource? Another one is planning and organizing. You have also, uh, okay, the last is planning and organizing role, in which the human resource are also forecasting more of the human resource planning. Um, we have additional role, not only those things, but you need to be also a strategist. You need to be a business partner and internal management consultant. Okay, these three are additional role of the human resource. In a way, like you strategize as well. Whenever, say, for example, during the budget meeting, you said like, do you think we need to do recession? You can open up. I think this is we can do recession not about 30% of the staff, or merging, for example. If you do merging, there are a lot of people who will be leaving because the employee from one company to another, you will be together. You cannot keep all. Okay, so business partners based on sales perspective. That is why I believe most of the strategic implementer of human resource, they call their human resource as business partner. We are looking for human resource business partner. Okay, usually like Sidra, okay, Qatar Foundation. You can see that. An internal management consultant. Now, what are the shared responsibility of the human resource? Okay, when you talk about centralization and decentralization, this will refer to the degree to which the authority to make decisions is held centrally by a particular group of people, or delegated or spread to a number of individuals, groups within the organization. Talking about centralized, okay, the control of the human resource, okay, is generally given to the human resource officer of the department, okay, with the authority over whatever advisory personal management takes in the organization, centralized, okay. HR manager, you are branch in Qatar. The human resource manager is having the final say within Qatar, centralized, okay. Control over human resource management, okay, existence of the human resource locally. But when you talk about decentralized, the control will be given to the department head. Okay. The control over human resource management implies delegation to the line managers and team leaders. My organization is decentralized. If the department head will tell you that, please issue termination letter to this person, the human resource will just follow that. No questions asked. because it's a decentralized kind of responsibility. Meaning to say, the department head has the final say. You do whatever it you want for your department. Why it happens like that? When the organization is so huge, you know. So what happened with the human resource? It will become only personnel administration kind of thing. It's not strategic. When you talk about strategic, go to head office. Head office will implement any kind of strategy. The branch will only follow what it says. But branch wide, all the decisions will be decentralized. All decisions will be given to the department manager. Okay. There are advantages and disadvantages if it's the organization is so huge, big. Human resource is sitting pretty. Okay. I will just wait until whatever they will say. I'm here to facilitate, fast work, like that. But the thing is, people will not really pay respect with the human resource. They will just easily, demand you and, like treat you like as if nobody, because you are not on hold of everything. Now, as the role of the human resource functions has become more strategic, these are the following areas that commonly been retained as the responsibility of a centralized HR function. If you talk about centralized, meaning that the HR manager himself are taking care the whole thing. It's strategic, organization wide, meaning all of that advantage, both expertise, provision of specialist services, advice consultancy. It's under the mandate of the head, and researching and auditing. There are a lot of things that you can do when it's centralized because policy are streamlined. You know, there is a consistency of the implementation of policy because when it comes to decentralized, the way how service manager thinks will be different to the sales manager. So maybe there are policies that has been followed based on the general policies and practices, but when it comes to decision making, there are cases that it will be like, favoritism and, like, I would say like it's per discretion of the department head. That is not that is one of the disadvantages when it comes to hiring and firing people. Okay, when it comes to decentralization, it could be personalized, very personal with personal interest, something like that. The role and responsibilities of the line managers in human resources practices. This one is like say when it comes to decentralization, um, this you can read all this based on the advantages and disadvantage. Like say for example, uh, if you are into decentralization where you are given the full discretion to the department head, uh, there is a slimmer chance of head office staffs, okay, to be given a kind of rule or power, I would say, greater autonomy to local business units, because what happened uh, in the actual scenario is if you're given the whole decision to the department manager, personal interest, he can just deal with the suppliers based on basta and this is what I want. They are the ones I want. Good thing that recently we do have the so-called like when you sign up a new let's say supplier, provide three quotation regardless whether how much, like 1,000 above, okay, 1,000 below, no need. Okay, you can do whatever, but even so, so this is the thing that is happening. They can deal with own manpower services. The increase of a white collar knowledge based workforce as well with mobility and higher expectation has also supported move toward individualism and career development. So in the context of in here, decentralization is not really, like uh, recommended, okay, in any organization, especially when you're applying strategic management. Okay, it should be centralized because you know when you are implementing such policy, it would be great if it will be handled by human resource respectively. What are the shared services unit that can be like handled by human resource? that can be shared by human resource. Um, Finance, payroll management. You can hire people, outsiders, um, training and development. This shared services unit, this is a centralized, dedicated provider of such services to internal customers. So, meaning to say, functions and role of the human resource that can be outsourced, right? Payroll, training and services. Um, Maybe like for me, I really don't like to be outsourced, especially for payroll, because that is high confidentiality. Um, it would be best if it will really be handled by the human resource. Hire some payroll specialists. Okay, these are outsourced. IT can be outsourced. Procurement maybe, yeah, can be outsourced. There are also divisions, regional divisions of the company, or that is SSU. It will employ its own dedicated resources responsible for managing the cost and contractual. It usually SSU is a contractual agreement, right? Advantages claimed by SSU. There's always a consistency of practices and standards, strengthening of the core competency, and significant cost savings. Why significant cost saving? You don't need to hire people under their sponsorship, and you know it's just handled by outsider. SSU, like cleaner, tea girls, you can yeah, you can do that. Outsourcing HR tasks. What are the functions of the human resource that can be outsourced? We have training and development, recruitment, health and safety, employee welfare and counseling. Yeah, you can hire psychologists, psychiatrists on usual basis as the need arises, payroll management and legal advice on compliance. But basically, well, this one are all, you know, uh, can be, like usual. But training and development, yes, you can. Recruitment, well, yeah, it could be, yeah. But if recruitment is not really happening, like in a year, like massive recruitment, yes, you can. But if in a year you will recruit only one, two, wala. I'm talking, this one is advisable only effective outsourcing when you belong in a huge, like say, for example, uh, food FMCG, like hiring all the waiters and baristas and all, massive, okay? Or construction, laborers and all. So these are the main areas identified as amenable to be effective in outsourcing activities. So, as a summary of chapter one, HRM is perhaps most helpfully seen as broadly distributed organizational competence or orientation rather than a function. Function in a sense of department specialist, the HR function may be thought of as the integration of people management systems through the organization rather than particular role and activities. That means that in human resource, we are more uh, like mindful, more like say collective effort, not on the just basic role and activities, but it should be the whole system of the human resource. Um, the last thing, my dear, is one of the most important things in the first chapter of the book, because one single view of this, you will know exactly how human resource works. Definition of the human resource management. Okay? That's one nutshell. Okay, there are models of the human resource. Okay, we have five human resource. Um, when if we are to ask what are the role of the human resource, we go back to the summary. What are the tasks and activities of the human resource? Starting with organization, power sourcing, and the role of the human resource as the service, guidance, budgeting, auditing. Now, of the human resource, we have philosophy, policy, program, practices, and process. Okay, those are the feet of human resource. Meaning to say, when you are working with human resource, These are the formulas and these are the finance models that we describe in human resource where it was introduced by Fuller of 1992. The finance philosophy stated about the urgent development of people. What for the team is in agency company job philosophy is example. We advocate for golden for community. We advocate work and work and that will be based on your guidelines and volunteer information. The program maybe the would say that maybe have to for maybe let's say program. Not scared about how to implement the knowledge and the process procedure that is what is what is how to do this for the by the way, okay, since it's a prayer already, we the moment human resource, I will be what will you do on? I will make a pre-recorded session for you guys. And hopefully I can send it within middle of the week. Once Icon Training Center will send you that link, you have to watch that, in order for you to complete, okay? Whenever you feel like it, whenever there is a time. Within 24 hours, it will be available there just to finish the whole chapter for chapter 1. And next Friday, I will not be around next Friday. So I will have another online class, but the Icon Training Center will be giving you the link exactly at 6 o'clock. So as if like, you know, you are just playing that at 6 o'clock, it will go through until 8 o'clock, as if like we have a class, but physically we are not. Okay, online and physical, no. Okay, all you have to do is only to watch because that is a pre-recorded session. At least in your free time, you're supposed to come here, but Madam is not available. Madam will go to somewhere out there. Okay, we will not hold a physical and online class, but you have your recorded session that you need to take a look at that. It will cover the whole chapter 2. All right. So there will be 2 links, middle of the week to complete the chapter 1. And next week, next Friday, there's another link, 6 to 8, that you have to watch for organization, chapter 2 organization. So when we are meeting on the next schedule, hold on a second, my love. I have a very important activity to attend on the 22nd. On 29th, we will be discussing. All right. Now, usual case, if this is the thing, you really need to watch that because as if like I am in front of you talking. Okay, but that's a recorded video. So on chapter on 29th, because 22 we are not meeting, it's only a recorded. On 29th, we will be having a human behavior in an organization. I want to make a thorough discussion with chapter 1, 2, and 3 because that will be the solid foundation of the human resource level 4. After that, you will say, "Ala, graduated already." Because chapter 4, that is training and development, majoring, okay? Majoring the tasks and activities of the human resource. Learning and development. Number 4, human resource function. Okay, so like number 5, learning and development. Okay, number 6, so we have human resource planning. So we go majoring after third chapter. All right. So you will not. It's easy for you to understand. Okay, that is what we discussed in chapter 1. Okay. So this is easy. All right. So after we finish chapter 1, 2, 3, I'll give you your assessment test. Okay. I'll give you the question and then you have to answer. All right? Sorry, it's an open book from the beginning until the end. Open book, let's see. Oh my God, where is this? It's a matter of because the questions, my dear, is not about like word per word. The book The question is based on your understanding. Because letter A is like an answer. Letter B is also an answer. Letter C also an answer. And D, yes, answer also. Okay? But the thing that you need to remember is, like which of the following is not role of the human resource? Now, I think there is a main word, but the book, very smart. The book will give you the secondary words, okay? So very close to each other. It's a matter of really you need to understand the question in order for you to get the correct answer. There are statements there that is the effect. But what is the main content? Ah, see? Very tricky, and you will have, you will experience and you have a tough, touch and try out, you taste that on 29. Okay? We finished that chapter 3 on 29. You will bring, okay? You will bring your test, no problem. Okay? If I can finish chapter 3 for 1 hour, the 1 hour will be your assessment and enjoy. You will like it. All right? Oh, by the way, we will turn on. Okay, we still have how many few minutes, right? Who's writing here? Wallahi. You need to put your name and your mobile number and sign 2 columns by long. There are only 4 people. Yes. Okay. Oh, you saw one. Okay, sign the second one. He's here to sign too. You have to sign what we have here is only wow. Wow is online. Wow. Is all the time back on my lap. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, Carl. So next week we will be discussing the models of the human resource. We have hard and soft, X and Y. Okay, it's just fast and easy. And then after X and Y, we have the 4 C's of human resource. These are all contributed by different writers, but it was keep repeating with the same context, but different writers. Okay, matching models. And the last will be your definition with the strategic human resource management and quantitative, qualitative, internal consultancy, and contemporary issues. After contemporary issues, we have ethical standards, dimension of human resource, international human resource, and your human resource, Islamic, uh, Islamic human resource. Imagine that case, okay? If only the management will say like intention, you have your pure intention. In Islam, every act should be accompanied by intention. All actions should be sake of seeking pleasure to Allah, okay, to God. So yeah, it should be niyyah, okay, intention. How I wish, all our human resource policies and manual and managers are practicing this kindness and care. So it will build with our, human resource uh what is this? The ethical issues, ethical dimension of the human resource if we are going to implement such in human resource uh, practices. Um, the one that I really like here is Esan. Ano, truthfulness, trust, conscience. You know, when you make your when you keep a promise and you keep it, there is um, sincerity, wafa. Yes. I cannot forget this one number because I have a colleague called Abdul Wafa. So he said sincerity, when you keep your promise, you need to keep it. So when the company was saying like stay in the company after 2 years, I will increase your salary. But then he was saying until now, no salary increase. Wafa, wafa. Remember wafa. Then you need to keep what you promised. Okay, moral obligation. We have our moral obligation. So yeah, surah. Provide pride and arrogance are not the behavior of a true Muslim. In organizations, manager is expected to seek advice and to consult with their subordinates before making decisions. So this is not autocratic. It should be management by objective. You need to seek, the vertical integration. When you make your policy, it should be like get decisions or get ideas from the rank and file and then implement vertical integration. All right. Okay. Here, those who would like to leave and I'll see you on the 29th. Okay? Thank you so much for coming over. Very good. Ah, yeah. The group I will be meeting now because, I will be doing that. You are here? Yeah, sure. Second. Ah, okay. Sure, my love. I will do that. Charles. Bye. Hello, Charles. You got that uh, notice, right? That next week we will not be having a class, but I will be holding a pre-recorded video. We will be sending the link at exactly 6 o'clock in the evening, and you will be watching that. Okay? What's your mobile number, Charles?
Hello?
What's your mobile number, Charles?
Yes, 054
054. You're outside. A
Yeah,
mobile number that has WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Can you?
Yeah, WhatsApp. Zero
Yeah. Can
five
you write it down? Just write it down.
plus 91 plus plus
991.
971.
Okay. Wait. Go to the chat and write the number,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
Plus 9715453299937.
754 532. All right. Sorry. You never gave me a laptop, girl. Thank you, Charles. Have a good day.
Thank you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All good.